Children of the night, what music they make. They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
All right, it's the first normal episode of Final Guys of the Year. So it's the third episode of the year, but it's the first time we're going back to the normal format. We did our best of, then we had a special guest for rock and roll or whatever the hell, Hard Rock Zombies, and now we're back.
Thank God.
If you're going to keep it as normal episode, that was going to be my challenge to fuck this whole thing up and make it abnormal.
A normal episode usually has you doing that anyway.
Yeah. Very true.
So tonight's main feature is The Deeper You Dig, which I have a speech impediment with it, and a lot of times I say the digger you deep sometimes.
You also said impediment wrong, so that was awesome.
Impediment. Spearmint.
Impediment with a woof.
You know what, you son of a bitch?
Oh. All right, I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Thank God.
Thanks, Hunter. So, before we do that, how's everybody doing? What's going on, fellas?
I'm doing well. I made an awesome purchase. You guys want to see my awesome purchase I made today?
Absolutely.
Yes. This would be great for audio.
Oh yeah.
Oh, get out of here.
Is this a new thing, or did you find this on eBay?
This is a new thing. No, this wasn't on eBay that some random person just wrote and put up there.
It's thick.
It's decent size, like 240 pages.
If you're listening, we're looking at the novelization of Wishmaster.
Of Wishmaster that was just published this year. So apparently, here you go for the visual aspect. Apparently, this publisher, Encyclopocalypse Publications, are putting out like these either re-releases of old novelizations that went out of print, or they're contracting newer writers to put out novelizations of old movies. So I think that's kind of a cool thing.
It is a cool thing. I kind of like that.
But
So that was on your Amazon wish list?
I saw my friend Matt Serafini post it, and I was like, dude, I have to fucking buy that right now.
Matt's got doesn't he have like all the Friday the 13th novelizations in his collection?
And those are expensive too. Like they
Ridiculous.
are really rare to find, and like I don't quote me, but I think some of them are like a couple $100.
Yeah, they are,
which is ridiculous. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's cool. Wishmaster, I had to buy it. So,
What's the name of the publisher?
Encyclopocalypse.
I heard the book is better than the movie.
It's a low bar.
Hey now.
I like the first one, but from there on, man, shit gets rough.
Oh man, I don't know. That second one is like a prison movie, and I love it. So
says a lot right there.
Mm-hmm.
You also broke some news this week for us. You want to share your Gwyneth Paltrow news?
Oh God. I'll leave the news to you, pal.
Wow, he's not going there.
I was trying to think. Oh, I had finally a new So Bad It's Good came out. I forgot to mention it last week. So
yes,
go to my YouTube channel, Jason Brand. Check it out. It's on the Immortal Lionheart, the Jean-Claude Van Damme remake of Kickboxer, which was already a remake of Bloodsport.
I started watching it, and it's hilarious. I got like halfway through it, and then I had to go do something. But it's a funny episode.
Funny you didn't finish the 12-minute video. Awesome.
I know. I got 6 minutes in, and then I had to go do something more important. So
wow.
We actually recorded that like back in March, and I'm just now editing it because we weren't recording. So I got one more old one coming up with Roddy Piper, which should be fun.
Rest in peace. Well, I have our friends Matt and Jackie from Bad Ben sent me a copy of this weird New Jersey. It's about Jersey Devils,
Ooh.
bizarre beasts, and other things. So I can't wait. This was waiting for me when I walked in the door today. I can't wait to check this out. So thank you, Matt and Jackie. I will buy the first round at the Mahoning Drive-In when we get there. I think it opens in April, so we should make a plan. And also, I want to announce that this is my last episode on Final Guys.
Yep.
Thank God.
Yeah, because I think this is too small for me now. I was just on the Travel Channel show World's Most Unexplained, and yeah, this is it. So it was good, but fuck you guys.
Dude, I watched that episode this morning, and it was really fun. I have to ask you though, do they tell you what to say, or is it all just like a regular interview? Because I felt like the way they edited it was pretty well done, and
Yeah.
like all the speakers, they were all kind of like saying the same thing. So I was just wondering if it was like a script that you had to like go off of, or if they asked you like what was the process like?
Yeah. So this is during the coronavirus, and they said go to this Hampton Inn, not far from me. I go there, and there's two dudes there, and they've set the whole little room up as a studio, and like there's barely room to move in there. So they sit me down. It's like there's barely any formalities. Like, oh, dude, just sit right there. I'll mic you up over here. They turn a laptop around. There's a woman who's the interviewer who's in Ireland. And so I came, it had been a while since I wrote that book. So I studied up a little bit, but there was nothing prepared. She just asked you questions. What I had to learn was when she would ask me a question, I had to incorporate the question into the answer, because she's like, they're never going to hear me. So you kind of have to blend the two. So it took a couple of times before I got that right. But yeah, that was it. There was nothing really prepared for it.
That's so weird. Did they ask you anything you didn't know?
Believe it or not, no.
No.
I knew everything about that word.
He's an expert on a fictional creature. What do you really have to know?
Yeah,
He can
Jesus.
say anything.
I
It has
just-
6 legs.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, did you bullshit your way through any of that?
The only thing that I was like, oh, I can't believe they put that in. It was this theory about it being like a mer person.
Yeah, that was really weird, because like that was the other thing I wanted to ask you at, because at the end of the segment they cut to you talking about like the mer person thing, and then that was it. Like they didn't explain anything other than what you said.
It's the most ludicrous concept of what it might have been, but it's out there. It's been around for 40 years.
It was
And they-
Merman from He-Man.
She asked me about it. I answered, and I'm like, oh, that's what you put in there? I was like, whatever. It didn't matter.
I thought it was fun, man. Everybody should go check it out.
It was fun. It was fun.
I was watching TV last night, and our buddy Colin texts me a picture of him on TV. And we had been talking over the weekend, me and Hunter, and he said to me, I'm still waiting to see when I'm going to be on the Discovery Channel thing. And then all of a sudden, there he is. So I'm texting him a picture, and somebody else was doing the same thing. So now suddenly we're all on this furious chain of like, oh my God, I'm DVRing the next one. I got it.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was good though, because I had a completely awful day yesterday. One of those days where I said, I'm going in the basement. Nobody come down and speak to me.
Jeez.
I'll see you all tomorrow. And I came up like 5 minutes before, and I started watching TV, and that happened. So
That's awesome.
My
It was
favorite
cool.
part was that you wore your best suit to be on television.
dude, I came as I am. So I had my old, I was telling Jack, that's what I did. We did a thing on the Montauk Monster when that book came out, 7 years ago. I was wearing that. I had my Fluke Man t-shirt on from Fright Rags underneath. Fuck it. You get me. I'm authentic.
It said Larry the Cable Guy, author of Silver Demon.
Next time I'm going dressed as Louis Farrakhan. That's my goal.
You didn't wear a hat though. You didn't wear
No.
a hat, and you didn't give a Final Guy shout out. So
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I
How many
tried.
fucks did they have to edit out?
I was giving signs.
yeah,
I was so good. I was so professional. I don't have to be professional here.
Oh, Jesus.
yeah.
One more note before I get to the news is we also have a new Monster Man coming out tomorrow that is going to be awesome. I have a friend who is experienced and knowledgeable about ceremonial magic, the real thing. Like, and
Yeah, not
so-
joke, not charmed
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, not like charlatan, cold reading kind of stuff. This is like serious stuff. So I'm probably going to put it up tomorrow. It's worth checking out. He's a really good friend of ours too, so it's a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
If you're considering diving into the occult, watch this episode and learn something.
Nice.
Really good.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
We
I
did
will
it
watch
first thing in the morning. It was rough.
I don't function well in the mornings.
Me either.
I see Jason has put the
Yes.
drinking words up on the screen.
I'll read them if you want. Y'all ready for drinking words?
Well, I didn't put them up until like halfway through the last episode, so I figure if I don't do it now, I'm going to forget again.
All right. You all know the rules. When we say these words, you drink. Jack's words are tarot, house, and echo. Echo. Mine are dear dead girl. D-E-R, not D.
You're writing a letter?
Who's burping? Jason's is tiny, lit, and family. And Tim's are real snow and guilt. Bonus, Harry Adams girl.
Mm-hmm.
We all like a Harry Adams girl.
Mm.
Get over here Wednesday.
See you next Wednesday.
Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
She's like 68 now. It's fine.
All right, real quick on the news. You ready for the news?
Yeah.
All right. Since everybody loved the Mortuary Collection so much, why did we really love that movie? Because of Clancy Brown.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
And exploding dicks. That was all right too.
That's true.
But
Between
mostly
that
like,
and Porno, the movie,
Yeah.
it was a very interesting year.
Get Felissa Rose on that.
Yeah. Well, it has been announced that in the new Dexter revival, Clancy Brown is going to be the villain for the 10 episode series.
That's great.
hells yes.
He's
All in.
playing, I think he's like the unofficial mayor of a small town, Iron Lake, and his name is Cat Caldwell.
You can put M80s in people's dicks.
And this is 10 years after Dexter went missing and he ended up in like Alaska. So that's good news. Clancy Brown's one of the best bad guys in the business.
Bring it.
Agreed.
man.
Nobody's better than the Kurgan, really. I mean, he kills it.
He might be the oldest serial killer in history, but in this
Hey,
show.
listen, John Lithgow was the best villain on that show, and he was not a spring chicken.
Yeah,
that
but
is
I think
true.
John Lithgow's about 10 years younger than him. I don't know. This is going to be
I don't know.
interesting.
That was
I
also
think
like 20 years
next
ago.
season, Bob Newhart is going to be the villain.
I never actually finished Dexter. I don't even remember how far I got, but I
didn't either.
kind of petered out.
Me neither. I
I
got
had to watch that last season because I heard so much about it.
I saw LaGuerta get killed. That was like towards the end, like I think the middle.
Can I just watch like the last couple episodes and kind of be okay? I wonder.
Probably.
I'm gonna binge it before it comes out.
You can also watch a YouTube video that'll probably tell you everything you need
Yeah.
to know.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Like a 12-minute YouTube video.
You won't make it.
Break it up into 4 sections.
Did you know
That-
that there's going to be a I Know What You Did Last Summer TV series?
Now I do.
Now you-
Wow.
Is it going to star Jenny Loves Hewitts?
Please.
What do you
no
want
Sarah
from
Michelle
me?
Gellar, no Jennifer Love Hewitt, no, I don't know. There's
Brandy.
Madison Eisman is going to be in it.
That's an Eisman. She does my taxes. Sure, it's not the same.
There's a bunch of CW sounding people involved with this who I'm not going to read. I just wanted to see if anybody cared that there was going to be a.
Don't care, but I'll probably watch it. So
Nope. Only if Lucy Hale is in it. And her giant eyebrows. That's
No,
it.
I don't think I've watched the original since I saw it in theaters, and I remember thinking it was okay then in high school, and probably I don't remember a whole lot of it. Is it okay?
I like it.
I don't remember
Mm.
anything about it.
It's,
I kinda like
it's passable. Like gas, it's passable.
I enjoy it.
They make a sequel to that? I feel like they,
They
did.
did.
I still
Still
know.
Still
Two
no.
sequels. And isn't there
Wow.
a third one? I think there's a third one too.
Is there?
The second one has Brandy and Jennifer
She's
Love
a
Hewitt.
fine
There's,
girl.
there's one I think without Jennifer Love Hewitt. I'll do some deep research.
Deep. Kevin Williamson wrote the screenplay for the first one, so
Oh, okay.
I
All right.
actually like the first one. I don't really remember the second one that much, but I don't even remember that there was a third one. If there is a third one,
I never watched the Scream TV series that was on MTV, and this feels like one of those.
I heard that was good though. I mean, I haven't watched it either, but I heard good things about it from whose opinions I trust.
Oh, there is a third. I'll always know what you did last summer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make. I'll never forget what you did last summer.
I seem to remember something about what you did last summer, but I'm not quite sure.
I don't. I know what I did this last summer. Nothing.
Last piece of news: Day of the Dead is going to get a series, and it's going to be somehow linked to the Romero movie.
Not the Bulgarian one that came
Not the
out.
Bulgarian one. 10 episode on Sci-Fi.
I don't like that.
When I said Sci-Fi, I felt the room, the air go out of the room.
Nothing about what you said has me anything.
It's called Dead NATO.
I mean, because the Ving Rhames one was terrible. The Bulgarian one was unthinkable. We don't need this.
No, stop. Jesus Christ. Make a Tim Meyer book into a series. Jesus Christ. How hard is it to do Wormwood? It's not hard.
No.
It's like a goddamn screenplay anyway.
Couple of horny teens, hot girl. You're done.
There you go.
Bada bing, bada boom, betty boop.
I should really run the world now that I think about it.
You should.
Yeah. I like your thoughts on
We should get 4 more people and start an oligarchy.
There you go. We could at least run Hollywood. I would be okay with that to start.
Yeah, I'm down.
We could
make another Hellraiser movie. Fucking no. Decision made. Done.
Ow!
We could make my cleverly titled sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer.
There you go.
See, that'd be so good.
That's all the news. Let's get to what we watched.
Yes.
We have such sights to show you.
I clearly was not prepared for that quick transition.
No, you were not.
You never
Be
are.
on your toes, baby.
It's all right.
We lob it in. We throw fastballs. It doesn't matter. You get there eventually.
I didn't even get the patented. That's all that's fit to print.
That's true.
Nope.
I'm off my game. Listen, we've been out of the normal routine.
Yeah, that's right. I thought this is supposed to be the normal episode, though.
We're getting our sea legs back, man.
That's like an echo wake word for me, like for the Alexa. I know I need to start listening when you say that. Otherwise, I'm just tuned out.
Drinking word echo.
Yeah, we remembered the drinking words, so that just screwed everything up.
Yeah, really.
Okay, so if we have such sights to show you, let's go. On my screen, I see Hunter, then Jason, and then Tim. So let's go Hunter, Jason, Tim, me.
I like it.
I can't do this right.
I saw a movie that is really more sci-fi than horror, but you know what? I wanted to bring it up here anyway. It's called, I don't know if you heard of this, Save Yourselves! There's an exclamation point. That's why I said it.
Oh, this is on my queue. So
this is kind of like a little end of the world movie. And it stars the girl. I don't know if you're a fan of Glow. It's the Indian girl from Glow. So she's a hipster kind. Are there hipsters? I mean, what do we call them anymore? I don't know.
Douchebags.
Her and her boyfriend and husband live in gentrified Brooklyn. So if you don't like those type of people, this is going to be a tough movie for you to watch.
Oh yeah, this first picture, I just want to take his glasses and break them.
Yeah, but I think you're supposed to want to do that too.
Okay.
So it's the banter between the two of them is actually really funny, and this is a good social commentary on modern relationships and how technology and addiction to your fucking phones has prevented you from progressing as actual human beings.
Accurate.
So the reason why I wanted to really see this movie is I heard that in the movie they're kind of in this rut and their friends are kind of getting a little ahead of them in life and stuff. And, you know, at one point they're going to bang and they get interrupted by their phones and they just end up like separating and looking at their phones, which would never happen in my generation. But they contact a friend of theirs, this crunchy granola kind of guy who does a lot of stuff, saving dolphins or whatever around the world. And he has a place in Pine Bush, New York, this cabin. Now, Pine Bush, for those who don't know, was the epicenter for UFO sightings in New York during the 80s Hudson Valley UFO wave, and it stretched all the way in the 90s. And it's a very rural farming town, and I used to go there all the time to look for UFOs.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And we used to see some really weird stuff up there that was unexplainable until they made it illegal to sky gaze. Because
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, so they were tired of it, and so we couldn't do it anymore. But now there's a Pine Bush UFO festival every year, so they have found a way to monetize it, and good for them.
Naturally.
Until a virus came and knocked out all events like that.
So in this, the concept is they go up to this cabin in the woods, chuck their phones, and say, we're just going to detach for a week and just, play games, play board games or whatever. And because they're doing that, they're not realizing that the world is ending due to an alien invasion of these things that look like tribbles from Star Trek or critters.
Cool idea.
It's a very cool idea. And it's basically just the two of them versus these bizarre fuzzy things that are popping up everywhere. I really wanted to hate this movie. I was like, oh, fuck these people. But I really like this movie. The ending is kind of out there, literally, but I enjoyed it. I thought the performances are really good. I like the dialogue between the two of them. The bizarre. It's all about people who are so dependent on technology. They've lost the ability to know how to do anything. And like the guy who just, I don't know how to do this, like general things, even chopping a log. He doesn't know how to do that. So it was cool. So I highly recommend. Check it.
I watched the trailer and I bookmarked it.
Yeah, you'll like it a lot.
All right. I would have literally never watched that.
No, I heard somebody else talking about it. I said, all right, let me check it out. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. That's what I needed. Something light and fluffy and fun.
Cool. I've already forgotten the order. Who's supposed to go next?
You're next.
You.
Okay. Well, I will. How do I want to stagger these? It's like when you have to deliver bad news. How do you? What's the order? I think I'll go with good news first. I finally got to watch Synchronic since it came out. Days ago.
I used to do that shit. It's terrible.
It's on Amazon. This is the Justin Benson, Aaron Moorhead movie that has been. I felt like it was supposed to come out.
It was
like a year ago or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Stars Anthony Mackie and these guys. What is this? Their fourth movie, maybe? Benson and Moorhead, something like that. I love everything they do.
Benson and Hedges? No.
Damn it.
Who's the other guy in this movie? Is that the 50 Shades of Grey guy?
Agnes Moorehead.
Yeah.
Jamie Dornan?
I have never seen 50 Shades of Grey, so I couldn't.
Jamie Dornan,
Don't lie.
Yeah, well, what you got to watch is the
Fall
series with The Fall with him and Gillian Anderson.
That's amazing.
Never seen that either.
He's a serial killer in that. He's great.
So this is all their movies have an emotional punch, and this one is no different. Just like Spring, just like was it The Resolution and all that, The Endless.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is Anthony Mackie's character is a paramedic along with his partner, and they're going around and they're finding all these crazy accidents that have happened to people that they can't explain, and there's always a drug called Synchronic on the ground by them. And when one of the partner's daughters disappears with the drug sitting there as well, Anthony Mackie kind of goes on a little detective spree trying to find her and figure out what's going on. And I don't want to spoil anything, but crazy shit starts to happen probably right around the end of the first act when you're like, wait, what the hell is going on here? And I don't even want to show any more pictures because if you haven't read anything about it, it's a cool idea. And I like the way they do the storytelling in this. There's maybe a 5-minute chunk where a character appears and does an exposition dump. And then from then on, it's just figuring it out on the fly. And I love movies where that happens, where the characters are learning the rules just like we are, and it isn't all laid out, super simple. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely worth the rental. And I mean, I want these guys' careers to keep progressing. They have such unique ideas, and the way they do things it's really not like anybody else right now. So
They just got hired by Marvel.
to do. Oh, I saw that they're gonna do a couple of TV show episodes or
They're
something.
gonna do. I think they're gonna be in charge of Moon Knight, which is like the best property to do.
Yeah, that's
for
cool.
those guys. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that for them.
Where did you see this, Jason?
It's on Amazon now. It released a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, you got to buy it for $14.99.
Is it red?
It's not cheap.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it though because I support those guys 100%.
Yeah, I love these guys. They're great. I've been looking forward to this movie for freaking ever. So,
hey,
it's solid. I think
I love Spring to the Day I Die.
So. Oh god, it's like a top
alone?
5 movie for me.
Yep.
It's one of like the few movies I've watched like back to back. Like I watched it as soon as it ended. I'm like, I have to fucking watch that movie again, and then just put it on.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I was like that with Bad Ben 5.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it! Damn it!
So we'll definitely have to do an episode on this once you guys want to fork over the money.
Yeah.
When that price comes down, this ain't no freaky.
Yeah, really.
In the chat, Tina said it's at Redbox right now. So you can
There you go.
Oh, Hunter, can you get it for me?
Tina, where do you live? Where's your Redbox?
They still make those?
Yeah, they got one by me.
Yeah. I haven't seen one of those in forever.
Me either.
There
They
might be
don't
a
bring 'em
Stop
down
and
to-
Shop.
They're worried
Yeah,
the Jersey
maybe.
Devil will take the box away. By you.
Yeah. That's true. All right, I guess it's my turn, right?
Mhm.
I went back and revisited a movie I had only watched once. And I remember liking this movie, but not as much as everybody else did. And that movie is Sinister.
Oh, man,
yeah.
I love Sinister.
My wife had
Yeah.
to tap out in the middle of that movie and ask for a 20-minute intermission.
Dude,
Oh, wow.
And this is a woman who's hardcore, who's been with me through this whole thing, and she was like, "I can't right now."
like I said, I remember watching it and like liking it, but it didn't like I saw it recently on the list of like the scariest or like best horror movies of like the last decade, and
Yeah.
I've seen it like hit number 1. And I was like, really? Like that's surprising. But I went back and watched it, and I had a blast with this movie. It is so fucking good. Like it is. There's shit in that movie that I actually like. I want not tap out at, but like it got under my skin for sure. If you haven't seen it, it stars Ethan Hawke, and he plays like a true crime writer, novelist. And he's
Ethan Hawke's going to be the bad guy in Moon Knight.
is he?
So, yep.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Wow, that's awesome. He's like a super underrated actor. I
Dude.
feel like he should be in a lot more stuff, and he kills it in this movie. Like so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, he moves his family into this house, and apparently something bad happened there. Although he kind of keeps that hidden from the rest of his family. Like, what a douchebag, right? Why would you do that?
It's the old
But-
horror movie thing. If you don't tell
I
anybody
would.
else about the bad shit,
But
I could see me doing that.
yeah, you probably would. That makes sense for you.
Yeah.
But so like yeah, he's in this house, and like he finds these Super 8 reels, and he goes back and starts playing them, and it's like videos of just this awful stuff happening, and he kind of just starts to like unravel the mystery of what's going on in the house. And there's like some really messed up shit in here, and just the ending, I'm not going to spoil it, but like that was such a cool ending, and you don't really get to see those endings in horror movies anymore. They don't go there, like they just don't. And I don't know, it like I was so glad I went back and revisited this. I have a completely new perspective on this movie, and it is like one of my favorite horror movies of the last decade now.
I love it. And look, if anyone's a fan of this show, if you want to buy all of us Ethan Hawke's sweater, by all means do it, because I want to walk around in that sweater, right, and drink bourbon.
Yeah, like I want to know who the like the clothing designer, what do they call it, costume designer,
Edith
was
Head.
on set, because like he was wearing the same exact sweater as his wife in the movie at one point. Like I was like, from scene to scene, like they were wearing the same exact sweater, and I was like, that's just like a weird choice that they were. I don't know.
Wonder what their
Or at least they
Christmas
were very
cards
similar. I mean, yeah, maybe they just like to wear the same stuff, and that's cool. Whatever, you do you.
Yes,
But
panties.
it was just a funny thing I noticed. And then yeah, so this movie also spawned a sequel, which I had to watch immediately after, and I'll talk about next.
Oh, that's okay. You can skip that.
Yeah, that's not the best.
I
think
might
we can
surprise
skip
you. I
everything
might
you and
surprise
Jason
you.
are going to talk about next.
I might surprise you.
It's
Or not surprise you, depending
Yeah,
on
I know.
your view of
it's
mine.
surprising you didn't love Sinister. I thought that was like universally adored.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I was like, all right, this is cool, this is okay, and that was kind of it. But now I have like a completely fresh perspective on it, and that happens with me sometimes when I watch movies twice, like both ways. You know, sometimes I'll really like something when I first see it, and then I watch it again, I'm like, not as good, and then like the reverse happens. So
Tim, I'm somewhat in that because I saw Sinister, I think like once, and I liked it,
yeah,
but I haven't really thought about it much since then, except remembering the good imagery. So I'll go back and watch
dude,
that.
go back and watch it. I think I have. I found it on Showtime. If you have Showtime,
I did not.
oh,
I
well,
bought the soundtrack to write to, and the soundtrack is so freaking disturbing with just noises. You can't do anything with that thing on. You just spend your whole time going.
yeah,
No, I do
over your
Pilates.
shoulder?
I do Pilates at sunrise to that soundtrack.
yeah, with like that dark ambient, like just randomness.
Some
Pilates.
bongos and
Sunrise. Jesus Christ.
Jack does a great upward dog. You have to see it.
That I burn off the calories for the hot dogs I eat later in the day.
Upward dog, dirty dog.
The downward dog. Okay. I watched a movie that I'd heard a lot about in some top tens lists from last year. But also kind of borderline horror, but it's called Spontaneous. And it is a good movie. It is a little bit of a heartwarming and a heartbreaking movie. I'm not going to give away too much, but it's about high school students. There you've got the boy and the girl, and I forget their names. I guess we could let them. Catherine Langford and Charlie Plummer. And suddenly, some people in their class spontaneously explode.
Oh, I wanted to see this movie.
And so there is like some horror and some graphic stuff. There is a lot of comedy, but then there is just this underlying drama and that's going on in it. That's like it's just enough to make this like I said, like it's heartwarming and heartbreaking. And for they kind of don't overdo the comedy part, but they do it just enough. So I really enjoyed it. I think it's a horror adjacent kind of movie.
I was gonna say, dude, looking at this, it looks like you're watching Lifetime.
It's really.
By the way, did you pay $14.99 for that one?
No.
Oh, all right. Where'd you see?
I may have paid like $4 for it.
Oh, okay.
It says it's on Epics, which I'm sure Tim is subscribed to.
I was at one point, but that was like they don't have enough good stuff for me.
Like,
you know what it was? I wanted to watch something on Epics, and I signed up for the free trial. And then, like, I'm an idiot, and I always sign up for free trials for subscription services and never cancel them because I'm just stupid like that. And so I think I let it last for like a month or two, and they got me a little bit, but then I canceled it when I realized what was happening.
Smart man.
Good job, man.
I'd be curious to see what everybody thinks. We could actually potentially do a show on this, but like I said, it's kind of next to horror, so it'd just be more interesting as you watch it to come back.
Like watching a bunch of old guys talking about some teen.
Yeah, Hunter, I think you're gonna like it.
I probably will.
I mean, you had me at spontaneous combustion. I think that's
They don't.
I have been
They
toying
don't
with
burn.
ideas
They
Oh.
explode.
oh well, that's even
Whoa.
better.
They explode. They
Did
don't
Blade
burn.
do anything to them?
What?
Did Blade come by and stab them? Is this a Blade movie? It's Blade implied.
Yes, Stephen Dorff is the bad guy in this movie. So I would recommend it. It's good flick.
Awesome. All right. I saw a movie that I spent $20 on.
Damn.
Jesus.
This is a movie that back around this time last year, whenever we went to the Alamo, which was 2-3 times a week, this was advertised every single time. And it became the movie my wife and I wanted to watch the most for the year 2020. It was supposed to come out in March, got fucked. Then they did a limited release in some theaters in December for like a day and a half. And now it's starting to come on demand. It's called Promising Young Woman.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait to hear about this because depending on what you say, I could pull a freaky on this one.
What are you guys watching? I'm looking at all these posters like, what the hell?
You need to watch. All right, time. And we need a time out here.
Yeah,
I understand your frustration with trailers, Jason, but you're on a goddamn horror podcast. You have to stay up on things. You got to watch this trailer. It looks amazing. I got to intervene here.
I don't even read the synopsis.
You have to. You got to get current, man. This one. Carrie Mulligan, for God's sakes.
Yeah. So
it looks amazing.
Okay.
In the trailer, first of all, "Toxic" by Britney Spears is probably the best song to come out in the last 30 years. I'm going to say it right there. And if you want to fight me on that, I'll kick you in the balls.
I mean, I'll fight you.
Yeah, I'll fight you.
I'll fight you on that.
Well, you guys.
I back you up.
Thank you. So anyway, and one of the best videos of all time. So there is an interpretation of that song that for this trailer, and it's in the movie for a little bit. But aside from that, Carrie Mulligan is in this movie. She is just turning 30 years old, and she does this thing where she goes out to random bars and clubs once a week, pretends she's really drunk, let some schmuck pick her up, try to take advantage of her, and then some things happen. I'm not going to tell you what, because I don't want to give anything away. There's a reason why she's doing this. There's something that happened with her friend back in college when she was in med school. We built this movie up as high as it could possibly be in our heads. What's her? Alison Brie is in this too. So, and if you like Glow, it's all Glow.
I like Jason does the circle.
Oh yeah.
The guy who's like the guy who has all the money in Glow, who gets the whole thing started, he's in this movie too.
Stop making Glow references.
It's all about Glow. I'm glowing. I'm cavelling. Also,
isn't McLovin in this movie?
McLovin is in this movie. Bo Burnham is in this movie, and Clancy Brown is in this movie.
Oh, I'm watching it. That's it.
He plays her father, and her mother is Jennifer Coolidge, the MILF from American Pie.
Yeah,
who plays more subdued than I ever believed she could possibly be.
Stifler's mother.
This movie is fucking awesome. If I saw it last year, it would be the best movie of the year. I'm counting this for 2021 because it really wasn't available to the masses until now. This is on the list.
It's going to be nominated for Best Picture, I think, for the Oscars.
You're gonna have to work hard to knock this one off this year, ladies and gentlemen. This movie is amazing, and there are a couple of things that happen in this that are jaw dropping.
I'm watching it tomorrow.
Yeah, will we doing this next week then?
I'm logging off now, and we're going to watch it.
Yeah,
I'm dropping $20.
I'm not going to say anymore. I'm just going to say I loved this movie more than I thought I would when it was the movie I wanted to see the most last year.
Damn, that's tough when you have high expectations like that to surpass.
It usually never works out.
Never.
Right? You know how that is.
To defend Jason on my rant, this was one of those movies that the trailer is so good that I was terrified of a letdown.
Like, there's no way it can be any good. And you know what? When you think you got shit figured out in the trailer, you don't. It's good.
Damn. That's $20 to rent, not even to buy.
Holy shit. I know. But I look at it this way: if I went to the theater, we would have spent $100.
I got to start a Patreon.
Jack is having second guessing himself now that you said it was $20.
It's not happening next week.
I'm going to do a Patreon or something like that. Or GoFundMe.
Go to OnlyFans and just show them.
It was a vampire movie with big titties.
Is Alison Brie a vampire by any chance?
Shows full frontal.
Is Alison Brie a vampire in this by any chance?
Yeah, she was great. I just.
All right, I gotta watch that this week then.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe tomorrow. All right, I guess I'm up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
do
got
it.
the good out of the way, so let's jump into Hellraiser. What is this? 6. Hellraiser.
Seeker.
Jeez.
Hellseeker?
Six. Well, it seems like just yesterday we were on part 3.
Wow.
You know, that little Christmas, New Year's break I had from Hellraiser was really nice. I'm not gonna lie,
It's over now.
but I'm in the home stretch, so
Is Lutsky in on this?
no, I'm doing this by myself. It's bullshit.
Ooh.
Well done, Lutsky.
Dodged the bullet on that one.
He was a smart man bowing out. So I gotta tell you what, though, I have been surprised that these aren't as bad as I expected. As kind of generic horror movies, they're fine. As Hellraiser movies, they're god awful terrible. They have nothing to do with Hellraiser. It's pretty clear with so I've heard 5 was written as a Hellraiser movie, but it's kind of hard to believe because it doesn't really have much to do with it. 6 has pinheads in it for like 4 seconds. It's just clearly was not designed to be a Hellraiser movie. And if it was, like, what the hell was somebody thinking? But this one, you can tell this is like early mid 2000s because it's a guy who is in a car accident and suffers a traumatic brain injury, and then it's just kind of almost edited out of order. It just jumps from one scene to the next. He wakes up and he's in his office, and then he wakes up, he's at home, and his neighbor's trying to sleep with him, and then his boss is trying to, and he can't figure out what's going on because of his brain injury.
But this is Ashley Lawrence.
Ashley Lawrence is back as her character in this, which is the coolest part of it.
Yes, he's
Yeah.
back. Back again.
Her husband is the main guy who's best known for, is it Allstate Insurance, where he plays like Mayhem, where every time he's in it,
Oh,
Yeah.
he's in
Yeah.
Rescue Me.
Rescue Me, yeah.
yeah, he's the star of this. So what's Ashley Lawrence's name? Kirsty? Yeah, Kirsty. She's either married to this dude or engaged or something, and they get in a bad car accident at the very beginning, and she disappears. And then the rest of the movie is him dealing with trying to figure out what the hell's going on with his life because he keeps waking up in weird places with crazy stuff happening.
Car accident. It is mayhem.
Do you, yeah, there you go. Do you want me to spoil it for you?
Yes.
Yeah, who cares?
Okay. So
Never watched this.
Wait.
Yeah. Earmuffs for 20 seconds if you don't want me to spoil Hellraiser 6.
Please.
Ashley Lawrence, or Kirsty, made a deal with Pinhead. He had found her again, and she made a deal to get him 4 souls. So she shot her husband in the car, and that's what caused the car accident. So he died and was sent to hell, where he's just being tortured by Pinhead. That's why he's having all these weird things happen,
Whoa, that's extreme.
because he's in hell. Yeah. And then he was having affairs with all these other women, and those are the other souls that go with Pinhead.
All right.
That's it. I don't understand when Pinhead became the devil to everyone who makes these movies. He's not Satan. He's not collecting souls of sinners. What the fuck? You have to open the box. Like, what? It's just,
You cut a hole in the box. Make her open the box.
You put your pin in that box?
so like I said, if you take out the Hellraiser stuff, it's a mid 2000s, early 2000s generic thriller horror movie that would be perfectly serviceable. It wouldn't be something people would love or anything. It'd be fine. But the fact that it's Hellraiser is just mystifying. It's like, I just don't understand it. It's strange.
I think mystifying is a perfect way to describe the series.
It gets worse. I'll get to it soon. Don't worry.
All right. All right. So, like I mentioned earlier, I went and watched Sinister 2, which I did not know. I never knew that this movie actually existed. So it was kind of like a pleasant surprise when I was flipping through Netflix after I had just watched the first one. So, yeah, you guys, just judging from what you've said so far, it seems like you hated this movie.
We represent the masses. The masses.
think I saw it.
99.9% of the community.
I mean, it's got a 5.3, and the first one only has like a 6.8. I mean, that's not too far off. I mean,
IMDb raters are boners. They don't know what they're talking about.
I mean, I guess. Anyway, look. So this movie is about a young mother who's played by Shannon Sosamon. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. I'm not entirely sure. You've seen her in a lot of movies. She plays a mom who moves her 2 sons out to this rural house because her her husband is abusive, and she needs to get away from that situation. But he follows her and creates a bunch of havoc. Meanwhile, she runs into a character from the first film who was a deputy who's no longer a deputy, played by James Ransone. I think that's how you pronounce the last name. You probably know him from adult Eddie Kasbrak in It, the new one.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was like a pleasant surprise because he's in the first one as a deputy, but he doesn't have like a lot of screen time, and like you can't even tell it's him. But in this movie, you could tell it's him, and he's like a really talented actor. He kind of has like this comedic, like just style about the way he delivers a lot of his lines, and I really enjoyed his character too. And he has the best name for a character ever in anything. His name of his character is ex deputy so and so. That's his name in the movie, and how he's credited on IMDb. So he doesn't actually have a name; it's just ex deputy so and so. And I thought that was hilarious and perfect. So anyway, he tries to like help her. Obviously, the house they move into ties back to the first movie with the tapes and all the crazy shit. The only thing I didn't dig about this movie was they went heavy on the kids aspect and left like the creature from the first one out of it, kind of. But I mean, it still had some good scenes and it had some good scares in it. And the characters weren't that bad. Like, I didn't hate the movie. It's not like the best movie ever, but as far as like a Netflix movie, if you've seen the first one, you just never saw this one, I would recommend putting it on. It's worth a watch.
It's better than all the Wishmasters you spent money on. So I guess.
God damn it. Well, you got to rub in the Wishmaster stuff.
I hope the book is like awesome.
I hope so too. I think it's going to be great.
I hope they hire you to write Wishmaster 3.
I'm there.
Can you make sense out of this Michigas?
I think 4 is where he's sword fighting in the woods in broad daylight.
Dude, 4 is what you should do.
Sounds like the way Tim and Chad write together.
Accurate. So yeah, I don't know. Sinister 2, worth a watch, I think.
It was fine. I didn't care for it. Like, I didn't hate it. I'm never gonna watch it again. It was fine.
Watch a rerun of Jerry Springer. You'll be fine. You don't need that shit in your life. Exactly.
They filmed Jerry Springer right around the corner from where I work.
Jack, me and you went to one of the first episodes when you moved to Stanford.
That's right. Were you with me? Oh my God.
I was with you. And my daughter went to the very final taping of Jerry Springer. So we kind of opened it and she shut it down.
Now he does Judge Jerry.
Ugh, not the same. I want punching. I want whores.
All right. Earlier we were making fun of pronunciation. Get ready, because I'll probably screw this one up.
Woof.
Another movie that was getting a lot of praise, Shudder movie. Not The Curse of, but just simply La Llorona.
La Llorona.
Llorona.
La Llorona.
I did not watch this because I thought it was The Curse of La Llorona.
No, the one on Shudder is just La Llorona.
Nailed it.
And this is another interesting one. It's been a couple of weeks since I watched it.
It's not what you think it is. I'll tell you that much.
It's not. It's basically a lot of it is a family drama about a general from like the genocide in, I think, Guatemala or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then there's a supernatural element to it, but it is nothing like a Conjuring universe movie. It is a slow burn, kind of psychological in a lot of ways, but very subtle thing. So this is one, like, go in knowing you're going for a sort of a drama piece haunting, but very good. And the acting is great, the writing is great, and I think they do a great job with the supernatural part of it. I don't know if this would have made my top 10 list if I'd watched it last year, but definitely worth a watch on Shudder. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, you spend like 90% of it going, is this a horror movie or have I been punked? Like, did they fool Shudder? It's an excellent movie. It's an excellent political movie, really. I fell asleep 3 times in this, and I because I kept watching it late at night, and it's kind of slow, and it's like dark and slow, and
Oh, I watched it like on a Saturday afternoon. So
yeah, that's the way to do it. But when I finished, I was like, wow, that was really good. But I don't know how to feel about this movie.
good Shutter flick. Very good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out. Like I said, I didn't watch it because I thought it was the one I already saw. That was like, whatever.
I never saw the Curse one because it just looked like
It's a Conjuring movie.
It's bad.
Somebody want to read this? We have news drop in here from our buddy Alok, who produced 1BR.
Yeah, he gave us the original ending of Sinister. He said he used to test movies. As he recalls, some weird version of the Bagul eats Ethan Hawke's head. The ending they went with was infinitely better. I agree. By the way, you don't want to get blood on that sweater. Don't eat that head.
I kind of want to see a deleted scene of his head getting eaten.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, actually.
Sure, it looks great.
I'm sure it looks really good. I can just see like a CG mouth opening. Like, oh my god.
He eats his head in the bathtub from Training Day. That's what makes it really scary.
Oh, I like it.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, you know how like some newspapers, like there were like just like the Great Gray Lady, the New York Times, and then you have like yellow journalism and rags, right? This is how you separate things you read. Well, you know, in the rag section, I had this book called Wormwood.
Oh God,
Jesus!
I kid. So naturally, I'm going to read this because it's Tim Meyer and Chad Lutzke. I love them both.
Heard of them?
Paid money for that? Oh my god!
I paid. Yeah, really. I paid money for the print edition. And traditionally on New Year's Day, I like to pick a horror novel I've been really looking forward to. Like I remember Paul Tremblay's Head Full of Ghosts. Read that all throughout nursing my hangover on New Year's Day. This year I had no hangover because I fell asleep at like 10 o'clock the night before. And I said, all right, I'm going to dive into this. It's a novella. So you could read this in a day if you want. If you got the time, you could definitely do it.
Is it a novella? Was it that short? I don't remember.
It is a novella.
It depends on who you're at. It's like 45,000 words. So it falls into like that area where it's like
Short novel, yeah.
Some people consider it a novel, some people consider it a novella. So
Right.
I'm not reading that in one day.
No, you're not. I read it in 2. This book is excellent. Now, Jason, you read it as well, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a piece of shit.
It was so funny because I know the both of them. I'm trying to go, is this Tim? Is this Chad? Is this Tim? Is this Chad? But then the story itself took me right out of that. And I was just into it because I totally get your young and hormonal teenager with a girl who is a little bit older, way out of your league, probably even if you're her age. And she's getting you to do things that maybe you shouldn't do and pulling away from the stuff you should be concentrating on. We had a girl like that. Her name was Bernice. And she fucked us up for about 6 months. Luckily, we didn't go to the extent that Cassandra does in this book. Her Cassandra, right?
Cassie,
Cassandra.
You stole that name from me. I'm just saying.
It's from my book, The Waiting, too, but we're going to go. So the good thing about this is stuff that could actually happen, which makes it all the more terrifying. And anybody who's ever had a bit of testosterone running through their gonads can really.
What? Why do you have to say it in the weirdest goddamn way possible?
I said gonads. I didn't say balls.
Now you did.
Say any teenage boy.
Yeah. No, I'm a writer. I'm here to just paint a picture with words. I thought it was excellent. I know we're joking around and everything because Tim's here and we like to shit all over him. This is why Tim and Chad are who they are. They are fucking great writers, and they're great writers individually, and having them both together in one book was just amazing. I mean, right off the bat, I'm like, this is one of the best books I'm going to read this year by far. So that's a damn great job. I do not want to give too much away because I want people to discover this for themselves, and they should. And if you don't read this book, I suggest you stop listening and watching to the final.
Well, thanks, man.
Let me piggyback off that. I had been in a reading drought. One of the things when you are a writer, the amount of people who send you books that they want you to read or blurb or review is obnoxious and it's annoying. And it really is. And I have a hard time, like, just, I don't want to tell people their stuff sucks or I don't have time to get to it or whatever the hell the excuse of the day is. And I'm a slow reader. And sometimes I just get so bogged down with going through stuff like that I just get in a reading drought and I end up stop reading for like a month because I'm like, I'm not enjoying this at all. Right. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to read this. It was right around Christmas, I think, right before Christmas. And I destroyed this book and it has completely got me back into reading. I'm reading faster than I have in a long time.
Wait, when you said you destroyed it, can we pull the pages apart anymore?
Well, I mean, I flushed it after I.
Oh, okay. That's funny. I just want to see.
No, I really thought this was good. Hot. You guys, as you said, Hunter, the styles blended so well. I couldn't tell who was writing what. Did you guys do chapters at a time or?
No, actually, I wrote I would write 3 chapters and then I would give it to Chad, and then he would go back through it and kind of edit it and tear it apart and put his own voice in there, and then he give it back to me, and then I would write the next 3 chapters, and then we would kind of just do that, so it all kind of flowed together and had one singular voice, because our styles are completely different. Like if you read his stuff and my stuff, like they're just 2 completely different, and it would have been so annoying to read if we had done it like chapter by chapter, just trading it back and forth. So
you did all the hard work. That's why.
Yeah. That's anything that sounded like it was written by a roadie for the Black Crows. I'm like, oh, that's Chad. I got
that. I really like this. I thought the length was absolutely perfect. It just it kept me flying through it. Characters are good. It's dark. It's twisted. It's fucked up. I really liked it, man. I hope this does become a film or something for you guys, because it feels like it was almost written for that medium. Just the pacing, the characters, and everything. It's just. You guys really killed it.
Maybe we'll see.
It made me wish I could meet up with that girl Bernice and see where she is at this point.
I don't think your wife would appreciate that.
I had mentioned to Tim in talking about this that if this gets made into a movie, we're hoping that the remake is done by Mick Garris.
Yeah,
of course.
For Hulu.
Yeah. Was it? Yeah, I know he's in the chat, but was the process pretty easy for you guys? Because I know sometimes co-writing sucks.
Yeah, it was. I thought it went pretty smoothly. We just it's so weird how it came about. So I actually got the idea from Chad, listening to him talk about his youth on a podcast interview for This Is Horror, and so I had got the idea for the basic idea for it through that, and I started writing it and it just wasn't working, so I was like, hey, would you like to just collaborate on this thing? And he was really cool about it and said yeah. So we kind of took a look at what I had and we kind of scrapped that whole original idea and then kind of came up with this idea together. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty easy. He's very particular about a lot of things and I'm more laid back.
Really? So, I couldn't tell.
So I think our personalities just meshed for a collaborative product, for a collaborative novel, because if we were too similar, I don't think it would have worked out at all.
Yeah,
true. But yeah,
it works so well. You guys should consider writing more stuff together. Honestly, I really, really enjoyed this.
Maybe we will.
Come on, Jason, me and you, let's team up.
Let's go.
We're both sarcastic assholes. It should work pretty well.
Yeah,
I actually have an idea for how we could write something. I'll throw it out to you later.
All right, that's off the show later. By the way, if you want to hear that conversation, you can join our OnlyFans account while we talk about it with our dicks out.
Oh my god!
All the secrets.
Is it back to me?
It's up to you. Did you read your own book?
No, I didn't read my own book. I read it 5 times, 6 times, or something like that. I lost count. Right? I lost count how many times. Yeah, that's accurate.
That was great.
So, all right, I want to talk about the best movie I watched this week, and probably in a real long time. I went back and revisited a film that I hadn't seen since I watched it in the theaters in 2006, 2007. when I actually worked at the movie theater and was a projectionist, and this movie came out, and nobody wanted to see it because they just weren't interested in it. I was like, "You guys are crazy! This is going to be awesome," and it was. Bug,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's a
With
great one.
Ashley
Ashley Judd,
Ashley
and
Judd.
Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
William Friedkin.
Dude, this
Ultimate
movie,
paranoia.
holy shit! Like I don't think I've seen it since I watched it in the movie theaters, and I remember liking it again, like Sinister. I liked it, but it didn't really like blow my mind or anything. And I watched it just the other day, and dude, the performances in this movie are out of this world. I went back and like did some research, like some behind the scenes thing. The guy who wrote it is like very established, like playwright, screenwriter, actor. He's been in like a lot of different stuff. I forget his name. I'm sure you could find it on IMDb here, but it's essentially about this woman played by Ashley Judd who's living in out of a hotel room because again she's like on the run from an abusive ex, and she meets Michael Shannon, who's seems like a pretty normal, decent guy, but he turns out to kind of be a little bit wacky. And it's basically just about these people who have like serious issues and just like how they seem kind of normal in the beginning and just like how they slowly fade away. And
Wasn't this a stage play at first?
this was a play. So it was actually written by that guy as a play, and it was a pretty successful play. Michael Shannon actually played, because he's like a stage actor, Michael Shannon.
Mhm.
And he actually played the character in the play version. And I think Friedkin wanted him to also be in the movie. And I think Lionsgate put it out, and Lionsgate was like, no, we can't have him. He's like, it was kind of unknown at that time. Like, he wasn't a big name actor. And they were like, no, we have to get like a big name actor to be in there. And I think Friedkin put his foot down and was like, I'm keeping Michael Shannon in this movie. Like, he's going to be in this movie. He knows it. He knows the part.
Yeah.
Like, I'm keeping him. And it was the best thing ever because he kills in this movie. But also Ashley Judd, like, she is phenomenal. And like it makes me wonder like how she didn't get more work. And then I started doing research, and I think she got caught up in like the Harvey Weinstein thing. Like, he kind of destroyed her career for like speaking out about stuff.
She was huge in the 90s, though. Like,
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
Thriller. She was
She was
huge.
my favorite, like, white trash hottie.
Oh, I have
I mean,
such a
seriously,
crush
I mean,
on her.
that was her expertise. And she was amazing.
But dude, like, I just like those scenes, like the third act of that movie, like when they're in like the hotel room and they've got foil all over the walls and like they're just like going insane. Like, it's some of the best acting I've ever seen on film. And like I like don't know how this movie isn't like talked about more. Like, I don't get it.
I don't know. You know what's funny? When it first came out, I thought it was a remake of Bug, the 70s movie with Brad Coleman. And I was like, oh, that's not it at all. It's a great movie. It's the ultimate paranoia movie.
Yeah, it totally is. And if you've never seen it, drop everything you're doing. I forget what I watched it on. I didn't pay for it. Oh, you know what? It's on Tubi. It's on Tubi TV.
Tubi.
Yeah. So, and it's like unedited. You can watch all the dirty parts in there. And not that it's that dirty, but I think there's like some
dirty parts.
Well, I think she's naked in it a little bit. So
She got naked in all her movies in the 90s.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
this is no exception. So anyway, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Drop everything you're doing and watch it. If you have watched it, totally worth a revisit because it like kind of changed my world, blew my mind a little bit.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Very nice.
Cool. All right. I have two things. I'm just going to do them both real quick. First of all, Hunter, you put The Owners on your top 13 list.
I did.
The Maisie Williams movie. I watched that. I liked it. It's fun. It reminds me of a couple of different movies. The third act, I think, is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It got some negative reviews, so that was keeping me away from it. I think Maisie Williams is great in it. And
Yeah, I love the way they ended it too.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I think it's definitely worth a watch. I don't think it would have made my top 13, but I did definitely enjoyed the hell out of it. So I'd check it out. The characters in it. You had mentioned one guy, like a Forrest Gump kind of guy or something like that.
Yeah.
All the characters really make the movie, and there's like 4 or 5 of them.
It's a good pandemic locked in the house. I need to feel some good about something movie.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
So that's worth a look. I read a book too, but it wasn't Wormwood. I'm actually in the midst of Wormwood, so I'll have my review soon.
Ooh.
I read The Sorrows by Jonathan Jantz.
Jantz.
That turd.
Now, before you jump on top of me, I purchased this. He did not give it to me. So
Did
this
he give you
book,
a bourbon chocolate to entice you to read it?
this book gets 0 stars. No. Now what is who did this? Flame Tree Press. They had a big sale.
Well, that was from Sam Hain originally, and then he republished it with Flame Tree and Thunderstorm Books.
Was it like 6 months ago? They had a big sale.
Yes.
And I bought a few of his books and a few other books while I was there. So this may be his first book. I'm not sure.
I think it is.
God,
I think so. Yeah.
It's so
I think it
long,
is.
I can't remember.
It's the one in the castle, right?
Yeah.
The one in the castle. And I bought the sequel as part of my things, and I'll get to that later this year. But good book, really good read. He's such a good writer. And I had no idea what this book was about besides, the little description. And it takes place on an island, and there's a castle, and there's a monster, and there's musicians. It's and what happens at the end you could not predict because it's kind of crazy. So yet another good book by a good man.
Yeah.
So,
I'm waiting
check it
for
out.
him to storm the Capitol. Something's got to break. It can't be this damn good.
He's a super nice guy who writes really fucked up stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is funny because when I read like Hunter stuff, I'm like, okay, I get this.
Whatever.
But with him,
By the way, you get it all for free too, you fucker.
you're goddamn right I do.
All
I
right,
wouldn't
have
call
one
it free.
Yeah,
I don't know why we're running so long tonight.
We're running long. I need more beer. That's what I need.
I'm only going to quickly talk about Hellraiser Deader, so you're going to miss it.
Oh, fuck that movie.
This is Hellraiser 7.
He was gone in a second.
I'm going to keep this super quick. This is yet another movie that was not Hellraiser that they adapted into being Hellraiser for reasons. I don't understand it.
Pinhead on the cover.
It again had a pretty cool premise if you take out the Hellraiser garbage.
Oh, this is the Kari Wurr.
Kari Wurr, yeah.
Yes. Yes, she gets a little naked in the middle
Wow.
too.
Go Ashley Judd and Kari Wurr. We're going through like all my movie crushes.
Yeah, this is awesome. It's the 90s all over again.
So she plays some kind of, I don't know, hardcore reporter who finds fucked up stories and writes about them. And she hears about this cult, I guess, of people who are killing themselves. And the main guy is able to bring them back to life. And she goes underground to try to find out what the hell's going on. And of course, eventually it has to do with Hellraiser, or Pinhead, who is looking a little chunk in this movie, not going to lie.
And I don't like his suit there.
Well, gluttony is a sin, so he can do that.
I don't like his
yeah.
nipples, maybe.
His makeup wasn't the worst in this, but I don't know, it varies so much. You can see there, he's, maybe they're eating well in hell.
Tiny guy in real life.
No pictures of Kari.
Yeah, where's Kari? Who cares about that?
Well, I've already lost interest. So don't watch this movie. It's like I said, it's a cool idea without Hellraiser, but as soon as they add the Hellraiser, it makes no sense at all. Somehow Pinhead's involved with this cult. They're trying to get in his domain or some shit. And then like lightning comes out of the box at the end. I mean, it's just bad. Don't watch it.
If I could conjure Kari Wurr with this box, I would.
You go.
Actually, as much as I'm shitting on those, I got one too. Right
Yeah.
Mine comes apart. Oh,
yeah. Mine's a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Mine's
God,
a Rubik's Cube.
I would love to see you solve that and just have you friggin' impaled on a post before the show's over.
Mine's a Rubik's Cube, but I'm never going to mess it up because I would never be able to get it back.
True.
All right, are we done?
that's it. I'm good.
Finally, yeah.
Okay. Let's get to the main feature.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Okay, I know I do the synopsis a lot, but I saw this movie like 2 weeks ago, so and I'm afraid of saying too much. So who wants to
I could try.
Go for it.
All right. I started watching this on the day I got really bad news, and I drank so much I passed out. And I thought I watched the whole thing, and my family informed me I watched 15 minutes and I fell asleep with a beer halfway to my mouth. But then I finished it a couple of days ago. I watched it from beginning to end. So this movie is about a woman who has the sight. She's like a psychic, but she's kind of like a shyster. And it's her. Her name is Echo, and her daughter is the Bunnymen. No, what was her daughter's name?
Echo.
Oh, what was the mom's name then? She had a cool name.
I don't remember.
Anyway,
She was the mom, the guy.
She had hippie names. So anyway,
Ivy.
So she has a daughter who's kind of like this, pink lipstick wearing, kind of like punk hip kid, and she does these seances for people for money, and they're kind of bullshitty. And then one night, her daughter gets hit by a guy who is driving drunk, who at the time, he's got douchebag hair, by the way. I fucking hate that kind of mohawk hair. But anyway, he hits her because he's driving drunk, and then decides to bury the body. But of course, she's not really dead. It's a mess. It's a total mess. So the movie is about the mother trying to find out where her daughter's really, not so much the body, because she's convinced she's dead, but where the daughter's soul is. And it's a very quiet horror movie. It's a very independent horror movie. And it's very creepy. There we go.
So before we go around to what everybody thought, just a quick intro on this. I watched this movie and then I suggested it for the group. I'm really curious to think what everybody saw. I'll get to what I saw, but clearly I liked it enough to suggest it. So I'll go last. Oh, no, screw it. I'll go first. I really like this movie. It was one of the things that endeared me to this movie. Not only did I thought that the first two acts were like a really like compelling story about about what happens to the girl and the cover up and the search and all that. Then it kind of goes off, and I really liked the way it escalated. But one of the things I liked about it was when I read about it afterwards, that this was made, basically everybody who made this movie was like related to each other. They made it for no money, they live in the Catskills where this was filmed. And it was a real guerrilla filmmaking project, kind of like when we were talking about anything for Jackson, what they did with that movie with a micro budget. These guys did too, and so I just thought it was an amazing effort for that. So we can get more into it, but just I like this movie a lot. So Hunter, you what did you think?
Look, to get me to go from drinking it, passing out, and watching it again, that says something. I thought it was really good. Once I learned the backstory, that the fact that it's husband, wife, daughter, and husband and daughter like directed this movie, I was like, holy crap. And they've done this before in other movies with another daughter who was in college at the time this is made. So I guess that's why she wasn't in it. It was bizarre. It's kind of a slow movie at parts, but it's also really compelling. It was exploring some just weird territory, man. I thought it was really good. Look, I'm going to tell you, if you had 8 beers within an hour and a half, don't watch it. Wait till you're sober and then watch it.
So the theme with you a lot is when you watch a movie and how much you've had to drink.
Absolutely. But I thought it was a really good movie.
Jason.
All right. I really liked it too. I didn't know about the story until after watching it, about them making it. And, everyone in front of the camera is basically everyone who was also behind the camera. This makes anything for Jackson look like a big budget film. But it looked great. And I had commented while watching it, the movie was shot really well. I don't know if they put like all the money they have into a really good camera or they just know about lighting really. I don't know, but it looked phenomenal. It did not look like its budget when it came to the quality of the image. I thought it was really good. I mean, really, I would not have known how small it was, except, you know, you just see, when you only see a couple actors, you know, it's like, oh, it's probably a small movie, but I thought it was great. I really, really enjoyed this. I would say it's the perfect Shudder movie, but I would have been just as happy to rent this too. Like, I thought all the acting of the main people was good. There was some questionable acting of secondary characters that appeared, but this is the kind of thing that makes me want to try making a movie at some point, even though it'd be the worst pile of shit ever, because you just see people who are like, you know what, we're making a movie, and this is what they do now. They make family movies, and by God, they end up making a good one. Like, I haven't seen their older stuff, and maybe it's all good too, but the fact that you could make one good movie shooting it with your family is impressive as hell to me. So even if I didn't know that, I would still really like it, but hearing the making of story really elevates this for me.
Timma.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I went into it knowing absolutely nothing about it or the backstory, and I thought they did a pretty good job all around. I mean, the movie, like you said, the movie looks great for no budget, and I thought the acting was good, and I thought, you know, the writing was actually really good too. Just the, you know, the way the characters interact and like their character arcs, and I really enjoyed like the creepiness of it, especially when, you know, that thing that happens at the end of the first act happens, and the guy kind of starts to kind of lose it. I thought that whole thing was really cool too. So I enjoyed it. You know, it wasn't like the best movie I've seen. It probably wouldn't have made my top, you know, 10 or even 13 if I had seen it last year. But it's definitely worth watching for sure.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I think while I was watching it, again, I didn't know the story behind it. There were one or two special effects that you could feel the budget on, but there was other stuff that, while it was done for some of the stuff we can get into it more in spoilers, but the mother's a psychic, so there's some stuff that goes on sort of in the psychic realm that was done for a shoestring but looked really good. And I appreciated that. So, but also, Jason, like what you were talking about, I just think where they placed the camera sometimes was so good.
For sure.
Yeah, it's
and
a different take than what you thought you'd get in a movie like that.
Yeah.
And some of that lighting, like the stuff they did at night towards the beginning, and then the way the guy is refurbishing a house, and the way that they would shoot that house was really good. And then
It was also, you could show that sled up in the rafters. You know, so much of it was focused on that
up
there. Rosebud. By the way, did you know that supposedly Orson Welles called it Rosebud because he thought that's what Hearst called his Gumad's vagina, Rosebud.
No.
He did it literally to piss the guy off.
Wow.
Orson Welles was the man.
Thank you for that random piece of information.
You know what? It might show up on Jeopardy. You're going to look like a genius if you pull that out of there. Hearst's Gumad's vagina. What is?
Whoever takes Alex Trebek's place has to talk about Gumad's.
It should be Will Ferrell. It should take his place.
God damn it. Yeah, I thought, I mean, I'm with you, Tim. It's not like this is going to be my number one movie of the year or anything. And I don't know how it could be with as small as it is. But like I said, I would not have known that it was a family shoot stuff. It looked like, hey, they hired actors and they hired a director of photography, and the music was good. Apparently he did the music himself.
Yes. So, is that crazy?
Yeah, like they're super talented. I could not have done any of that.
Yeah, I mean,
good.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I mean, after you know, like the whole story behind it, it's even more impressive actually than when I was watching. Because when I was watching, I was like, oh, this is just like a low budget indie movie that, you know, probably had, you know, something similar to the Anything for Jackson budget, and it was just, you know, shot in the woods, and they did some cool stuff, like with some cool special effects and some camera stuff. I like, especially when they kind of do like the surreal stuff, which I'm sure we'll get into a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, once you learn the story, it's even that much more impressive. Like you said, like I kind of just want to like spend a week and just take my camera and my friends and let's go in the woods and shoot a movie. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, good luck.
Do you guys want to ring the spoiler bell? Because clearly we all recommend the movie. And,
I want to say one more thing quick. Just one of the things that is very common with the So Bad It's Good movies I like is it's a guy making a movie where he's writing, directing, starring, and it's just a vanity project from hell. And I think they completely avoided that with this, even though they wrote, directed, and starred in it. There weren't any overly melodramatic scenes where the woman's screaming at the sky because her daughter's, where it's like, oh, this is my Oscar scene. Or
Yeah.
I felt like they completely avoided all of that. And it was a very subdued performances all around for the most part. And I just thought they just completely sidestepped what I was, had I known what the story was behind this, what I would have been afraid it would have been. I thought they just did a great job of that.
Yeah, they stayed true to trying to tell a story.
Yeah.
Nobody was trying to be like, look how cool I am, or look how hot I am, or
Yeah.
And I thought it was fairly unique too for a story that's probably been told before, a number of times. I thought stuff in it was quite unique.
And,
especially the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we talk about anything but Jackson. It's the same thing. It's grief, overpowering grief, and what you do, how you handle it. And I love that kind of stuff.
Same.
Okay, let's get into spoilers. You know what I loved about this movie is the public service for the horror community that we do is discovering movies like this and getting the word out about them, right? And this is one of those ones that I'm psyched that we discovered it, and we can, not that other people aren't talking about it too, but I'm kind of
nobody's talking about it as well as we do.
Exactly.
We're more better.
Also, I can pronounce the name of this one.
And it's on Shudder, everybody. Shudder.
So, to me, the biggest spoiler is he doesn't finish the house. I don't know what he's doing, but he did not finish the remodel.
Nowhere near. There was so much more lathing to take off.
He was kind of a shitty house flipper, to be honest with you guys.
Dude made no progress at all. Like through the movie. There's a little bit of drywall at the end that he put up.
I guess killing the girl probably put a damper though on his like motivation.
So what really grabbed me about this movie is the beginning where he hits her, thinks he's killed her, brings her to the house, puts her in the bathtub, and then she wakes up and he makes the split second decision to kill her.
Yeah, that was
and that's where you're like, oh. And it's because he was driving drunk and he knows that
he would have been fucked.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, if that's my daughter, the things I would do to him. Like, I would make him live 40 more years of utter terror. His life would be terrible.
That was a rough scene when he decides to do that. It's like, what? Dude, you're almost out scot-free. Like,
yeah,
dead.
And so that whole first act, then you go through the dance him and the mother are doing, where she's running into him and asking, and then the cops are talking to him. That guy's performance and the mother's are so good. Then when they start to bring her back, the makeup effects and the ghost effects was genuinely creepy. So I was like watching, I was going, "Whoa, this is really good, man."
Yeah. The magic stuff, sometimes I was like going, what? Like when she goes to visit her mentor and he's laughing like the 7-Up dude from the 70s or the 80s. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Some of that looked kind of weird, but Jack, maybe we need to talk to Morgan to find out if it was accurate or not.
Yeah, right.
Well, so that was one of my very few gripes about this movie is I thought once she makes the deal with the box or whatever the hell, and the weird stuff starts to happen. Some of it was so weird. I was like, what the hell? Like, this isn't really as creepy as I was hoping. It's just weird. I could have used like some more ghost stuff around them. I don't know.
It's funny. My wife watched it before me and she goes, I love that movie, except the last 15 seconds. And I was like, I watched it, I go, I love the last 15 seconds.
Yeah, that's great. It's great.
I'm like, you're a fool. Give me your horror card. And I tore it up and I threw it in her face.
I was curious as to the ending of that movie, what everybody was going to think, because it is a weird ending.
It is weird.
Yep.
But I thought it was really cool. It's like,
I have not seen that one before.
Yeah. How do you reconcile that? Like
when he goes to the bathroom, when they're having hot chocolate together, and then he goes up to the bathroom and sits, and you're like,
At first, I
Okay.
thought it's because he can't see himself in the mirror because of guilt, and I'm like, going, "Oh no!" I think because he's possessed in a way, it's working its way in.
And I love when the ghost actually says something. Now I'm in your head.
Oh,
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, as much as I like the ending because of how different it was, I did have a story thing with it. When she opens the box, the guy tells her like she's going to have to pay a hefty price.
Yes.
What price did she pay?
She got
To
stabbed
have your
several times.
daughter back looking like douchebag hair.
But like she still had like she got her back to a degree. You know what I
Not
mean?
really. No.
She got stabbed with a screwdriver too.
Yeah.
That's not much of a price to pay for
Dude,
dealing with hell.
Trust me. I don't know how I'm going to accept my child in the guise of an asshole who
Okay, but
murdered
it's not
her.
like her daughter died after she opened the box. Like, what price did she pay?
Imagine your daughter
price
comes back as a long-haired, disheveled guy with a copy of the Wishmaster novelization
That sounds pretty cool.
Sounds amazing,
It-
actually.
It's
and an IPA.
disturbing. It's like you'll give anything to have your daughter back, and then you get it. It's like a Twilight Zone. Like Rod Serling.
I'll
This is
give you
a
that.
perfect fuck you from Rod Serling. Here's your daughter. It's this dude with a big dong.
Yeah.
Enjoy. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. That's a huge price to pay. Like how do you move on with that? I don't know.
Still feels like a net positive to me, not really a net negative.
Look, I'm the only one here with daughters. Tim writes about dead daughters, but I'm the only one with
true.
actual daughters, and this is this should be a tough one.
Yeah. Anyway, that was really my only complaints. Everything else,
Hunter, you kind of said it before the bell, but one of the big moments of that is when you know that the sled is in the rafters and she goes in the room and you're just waiting for her to see it. They played that really well.
By the way, bury the freaking sled along with the body. Do not just throw it up in the attic. Are you out of your mind?
maybe when you dig the grave, go more than 6 inches down too. That would probably help.
Well, that's 2 weeks in a row of very shallow graves.
Yeah, but in our business, we can't do outside work in the wintertime because of the frozen ground. So,
Dude, yeah,
he's
that was
dealing with
tough.
it.
By the way, that was that shot in the Catskills?
Yeah.
The whole time I watched this, going, this is Canadian. I thought straight up Canadian movie, but I could see that. Spend a lot of time up in the Catskills. It's
Me
cold.
too.
You're not getting much deeper than a few inches if you're lucky.
Yeah, well, as soon as he gets the shovel and is trying to like dig at the frozen ground, I'm like, that ain't gonna work, dude. You're gonna need a pick.
He's throwing her in the well. But he had to chop up the body and everything.
Oh.
That was good horror movie stuff going on there.
Yeah, that's when you call Vinny Four Fingers. He'll do it for you. And he ain't gonna give a shit.
I kept thinking though when he's dropping her in the well, I'm like, that's the one place you don't throw her because they're gonna look there.
Right. Exactly.
Unless you do what they did in 1922.
I didn't see that.
Oh, throw the cow on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh. Yes, true. That's
good.
an uplifting movie. That's perfect for the kids.
I actually watched that last week. That's why it's still fresh in my brain.
Great movie.
That movie's
That's a good idea. Now you got me thinking.
I got to get me a cow.
Got to have a cow for situations like that.
Yeah, that's the first thing. You just got to have a cow on call.
That's how your wife will know she's in trouble if you bring a cow home.
Bring a cow.
Did your dad just get a cow?
I'll just go to Stop and Shop and get the older meat that's being getting.
And he's digging a well.
I don't know anything else to say about this one. I definite recommend.
Yeah, I mean it's good. It's solid. Like I said, if you're into low budget films that exceed the budgetary constraints, then this is a good one to watch.
Great discovery by Shudder. Like,
Yeah,
this is a
Shudder's been killing it.
yeah.
They
they're
need to
killing
put this on the featured page though. Like I had to read about this and go find it.
It takes forever to find this friggin' movie.
I had to search for it. I thought maybe it was a new release or something. I had to do a search.
Thank God they have a big thumbnail for the pale door. Thank God I can't miss that, but I have to search for this.
It was on the newer releases scroll. on the website.
Wasn't on the website.
Yeah, it wasn't on the website.
I'm on the Roku thing.
Sorry, the Roku.
Well, there's like a featured page. It's not on the featured page. You got to go to the new releases and then over. But the featured page, that's where like anything for Jackson. When I turned on Shudder, it like jumped out at me.
Yeah, no, this is definitely watch it.
Yeah, there's worse things you can watch, like Jack's OnlyFans account. That's the worst thing you can watch.
Don't watch.
We got to.
Or me and Jason discussing our next book together.
My OnlyFans this week. I'll just say this: the midnight special this week. So don't miss it.
Jesus.
Tyler, trim that shit.
Oh, jeez.
Can we stop now?
What's next week's movie? Have we decided?
Well, here's all right. What's this movie? I wrote it down. Bloody something.
Bloody Hell.
There's Bloody Hell or the one you watched, Promising Young Woman.
I think Bloody Hell's only like $4 or something.
So we could do that and maybe give Promising Young Woman another week to come down.
I want to give you time to save up your change.
Or yeah, that's right. I can
go in your Patreon jar.
Or does anybody want to buy a copy of The Sorrows?
Will you sign it for me?
Wait, yeah, I got Wormwood over here. We can do a whole freaking charity drive.
I got a clown in the cornfield.
We all do. We can all sell our clowns.
Yeah,
like new.
That's so funny.
Oh god. All right, so what are we doing? Bloody what?
Bloody Hell.
Bloody Hell.
I've never even heard of that.
No,
Bloody Hell. Paul Hibbard suggested it, by the way.
Yeah, watch the trailer. Looks good. So,
who suggested it?
Paul Hibbard.
Who's that son of a bitch?
He's a great motherfucker. I put him in my Bigfoot in the Bronx book.
Okay.
What is it?
Oh, wait, I was keeping that a secret. Well, Paul, if you're listening, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Bloody Hell. So, with that, we, as usual, thank you for joining us. Please spread the word. Give us reviews.
Give us beer.
Don't forget my Patreon to so I can watch the next movie. And
give us Ethan Hawke's sweater.
Yeah. Oh, that's in the next Patreon. We get matching sweaters.
I don't fuck Patreon.
I'm
Give
gonna go
us
buy
a
one.
sweater. No, I want fans to give. We've been doing this for fucking years. Someone give us a goddamn sweater. That's all we're asking for.
I'm
if you
going
want
on
to write to
eBay
us
right now. I'm going on eBay.
There's that site, Middle of Beyond, that has awesome horror sweaters. If somebody would just buy us all a horror sweater, they can be different ones, the same style.
I want Ethan Hawke's. I want the Sinister sweater.
Okay.
I'll write more if I have.
I'd like to see you in like the Heath Huxtable sweater.
I need something. I'm freezing up here. I have braved this tonight. I'm almost dead from the cold. I can't feel my legs.
Then let's get the hell out of here. Anything else, guys?
Nah.
Nope.
Okay. Arrivederci, folks. See you next week.
Bye.
I think I love you.